Good morning, friends. Mark Holmes here with
Michael Anthony Fitness.
And as always, thank you guys for watching, commenting, and subscribing to the Joe B Sports Report. Without you guys, this just doesn't work. I want to know something. Where the hell is spring at? I'm here in the Shenandoah Valley. It's about 40 degrees, man. It's cold. This is like mid-April. What the hell's going on? Seriously, I'm cold. And my voice seems like it's going. I guess it's from talking about Dez Bryant too much. You guys, if you don't want to talk about Dez Bryant, just turn off the video. Turn it off. Turn it off. Go someplace else because we have to talk. I'm going to tell you, don't say I didn't tell you guys that this was coming. I've been saying it all off season, since the season ended. From the moment that we had the meltdown in that game, that Dez Bryant, they're going to look long and hard at Dez Bryant and say, you're costing a lot of money. The production's not there. And we may have to do something different. What do you think, Mike?
I think you're right.
You don't think he costs too damn much?
Oh, he does cost too damn much. And you're not going to get rid of Cole Beasley just yet.
Well, he's more affordable, but you brought in Hearns, Tom.
Because Swift is not ready to take over. But maybe next year get rid of Cole Beasley.
Again, listen.
But that's what I think.
Well, it's just going to be Jerry and Dez. And I was talking to somebody, and they're going to say, you know what? It's going to be Jerry and Dez in there, and they're going to get emotional, or, Dez is going to get emotional, and he's going to want to stay, but I don't know about that. And then Jerry will kind of wilt because, he loves Dez and everything else. But
it's time to move on.
I think back to winning a couple of Super Bowls with Jimmy Johnson, and he had no problem letting go of him. They had no problem of letting go of DeMarcus Ware.
Wait, who's that? Who's that guy that they traded back in the day for all the picks?
Herschel Walker.
That's right.
Well, he had just gotten here, so he didn't really have those relationships.
But he
got rid of Tom Landry, just like that. So
it's time for Tom Landry to go. So.
Yeah, but they could have done it better than what they did.
Well, of course they could have. That's for sure.
But it'll be interesting to see how this meeting goes. If this is going to be a morning meeting or an afternoon meeting. I'll say that I've had some people whispering in my ears about this for a couple of days now. I've just decided to keep what I know or I've heard to myself. After what happened with Earl Thomas, people, you're just a clickbaiter. No, it's just like anybody else. You see Ian Rappaport on there all the time posting stuff that is way the hell off. But that's okay. I get tips and things and people talk to me and so on about stuff that's going on. Football is a very fluid situation and not everything happens the way it looks. Because here's the thoughts right now. Ian Rappaport went on last night and said they finally have a resolution to Dez Bryant's situation. They're going to be meeting with Jerry Jones and he's going to be taking a pay cut to stay in Dallas. Is that how it is?
Not taking a pay cut.
How do you know he's going to accept taking a pay cut?
He already said he wasn't going to take a pay cut.
NFLPA doesn't want players to take a pay cut. How many players do you know take a pay cut? Very, very few. Because here's the thing about that. Once a couple of players start taking pay cuts, it becomes the norm. They'll use that person as the case. It's kind of like in the court system. Thompson versus whoever. That case set a precedent. So then everybody follows along. The NFLPA does not want players to give money back. How does it look when the salary cap goes up $10 million a year, yet your players are taking less money? I'll wait on that one. Yeah, he's not taking a pay cut. I keep telling you guys, when you ask a guy to take a pay cut, it it's your way of letting a popular player go and say that, don't look at us, we wanted him back, than just saying, we're done with you. So that's where we stand right now with that situation. To wait and see what happens, but yesterday they brought in another wide receiver prospect. So what does that tell you?
The right move.
When you got too many wide receivers, you got more wide receivers on your team than anything else. You got a baseball team worth of wide receivers on your team, but you're still looking at wide receivers. So yeah.
Probably send a message.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting to see how Cowboy Nation deals with the fact that Dez Bryant's been released. I had somebody commented yesterday, if they release Dez Bryant, I'm done with the Cowboys. I'm done with football.
Was that the same person that with the anthem?
I don't know if it is or not, but it's funny.
That's another story for another day.
It's funny how that happens. Yeah. So many people. Yeah, I'm done with the Cowboys. They do that. No, were you done when they got rid of DeMarco Murray?
Well, didn't they try to do the same to DeMarco Murray?
DeMarco Murray, they lowballed DeMarco Murray, basically chump change is what they were on the pay. They just didn't really want him back. And they said, oh, well, we made him an offer, but he didn't want to stay.
Well, then they franchised Dez for that year, I believe. Or paid him.
No, he got his contract. They never franchised tagged him. No. And that's another thing that I'm kind of wondering with DeMarcus Lawrence. I'm wondering if they really believe in DeMarcus Lawrence for the long haul. After going through this situation, because the problem with the Cowboys has been they paid people, but sometimes they paid them when it wasn't warranted. See, and I think they're thinking that DeMarcus Lawrence, let's pump the brakes, let's pay him the $17 million this year and see before we do the long-term deal, because you remember he just came back from back surgery last year. Okay, he only had 1 sack the year before, so he had the 2 sacks in the playoffs his rookie year. He had 8 sacks. Then he had the 4-game suspension along with the back issues and had 1 sack. Then all of a sudden in the contract year, he's got 14.5. So the track record is kind of like, yeah, he's had every other year's been good, but is he ready for us to pay him a $60-70 million contract?
So like a Brewer year.
Yeah, kind of like right now we've got with Tyron Crawford. Tyron Crawford got a big contract on his potential because they thought he was going to be, a great pass rusher. That didn't work out. You can go through with Miles Austin on one great year who had played phenomenal, but his history in the past was saying he always had hamstring issues. But they paid him a good contract, and then he couldn't stay on the field. Marion Barber, part-time running back.
They overpaid him.
They, paid him. I mean, he was great to watch, but his style of play was not a style that was going to be able to be maintained. They paid him like a $50 million contract for a running back, and he was, gone in another year. So they've been burned in the past on all these contracts for guys that were too big. So I think they're actually saying, let's wait on DeMarcus Lawrence. Let's take the $17 million hit this year and be sure before we invest $70 million. We're in cap hell now because of DeMarcus Ware's past contract, Tony Romo's past contract, Jay Ratcliffe's past contract, Miles Austin's past contract, Marion Barber's. You go through, and all those big contracts that were there just kept getting kicked down the road for us restructuring contracts. We restructured Tony Romo, and that's why we're still paying Tony Romo, even though he hasn't played a play on the team.
In like 3 years.
Well, he did play that one series against the Eagles, but, you see what I'm saying? We're still paying $9 million to Tony Romo because of past mistakes. So that may be why, and I'll go into that in another video about DeMarcus Lawrence on why they haven't done a long-term deal yet, but they've got until July 15th to do that. I think it is, or 18th. I have to check on the dates. But I'm going to go in here and grab me some coffee and get to work and see if I can get back home to my man cave. I miss my man cave. I love being in my man cave and broadcasting. But as always, friends, thank you guys for watching, commenting, and subscribing to the Joby Sports Report. I'm Mark Holmes, and this is
Michael Anthony Fitness.
And we can't quit our day job. See you soon.